If you're over 55, the perfect motorcycle stops being about size or speed and starts being about balance. Big bikes can feel heavy and demanding, while smaller ones often fall short on the open road. What most riders really want is something in between, comfortable, manageable, and capable without adding strain. That's exactly what this video is built to find. Across 12 motorcycles, evaluated by weight, seat height, power delivery, and real-world usability. But not everyone needs a big investment to get there. And that's where we begin, with 4 budget machines under $6,000 that quietly deliver the right kind of comfort. Number 12, Honda CB 500X. Riding doesn't have to feel heavy anymore. The CB 500X doesn't try to impress you with size or power. Instead, it meets you right where you are. The riding position is upright, natural, and easy on the body. No pressure stacking on your wrists, no awkward bend in your knees. You sit in a place that feels familiar within minutes, like you've been here before. Now the seat height sits just under 33 inches, but here's what makes the difference. The bike is slim through the tank and midsection, so your legs drop straight down instead of reaching outward. That changes everything at a stop. You're not guessing, you're planted, and that sense of control builds confidence faster than any spec sheet ever could. At around 430 pounds fully fueled, it carries its weight low and, more importantly, predictably. Slow speed maneuvers feel calm and controlled. Tight turns, parking lots, uneven ground, it doesn't resist you, it cooperates. And for riders who value stability over flash, that's exactly what matters. The 471cc parallel twin delivers power in the most reassuring way possible. No sudden surges, no jerky throttle response, just a smooth, steady pull that builds as you ask for it. It's the kind of engine that lets you relax your grip and actually enjoy the ride again. New, the CB 500X typically sits just above $7,000, while clean used examples usually fall between $4,500 and $6,500, depending on condition and mileage. That makes it a smart, low-risk entry back into riding without feeling outdated or underbuilt. This is for the rider who wants simplicity without stepping backward, confidence without compromise. If you've ever gotten off a bike and thought, this just feels right, you already know how rare that is. If that's what you're chasing, stick with this. And yeah, show some support on the video. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. That's how we keep narrowing in on bikes that actually make sense in the real world. The CB 500X works because it keeps everything simple and forgiving. But that simplicity comes at the cost of long-distance confidence, especially when speed and wind pressure start building up. Riders who begin to feel that limitation don't necessarily want a bigger bike. They just want something that holds its ground a little better when the miles stack up. And that shift in expectation naturally leads into the next answer. A machine that stays approachable, but adds the stability and presence needed for higher speed touring. Number 11, Kawasaki Versys 650. If the last bike helped you find your footing again, this one begins to show you what's waiting beyond it. Not overwhelming, just more capable in every direction. The seat rises to just over 33 inches, and this is where some riders take a second look. The Versys carries that height with more presence. It's still reasonably narrow, but at a stop, you may feel that extra reach. Not unstable, just different. It asks for a bit more trust when your feet come down. Weight sits around 475 pounds wet, yet once rolling, it sheds that heaviness surprisingly well. The chassis feels composed, almost eager to move. Around town, it remains predictable, though you'll notice the added bulk when maneuvering in tighter spaces. It doesn't resist you, but it no longer disappears beneath you either. Now the engine, this is where the shift becomes obvious. The 649cc parallel twin brings a stronger voice. Still smooth, still controlled, but now there's urgency when you ask for it. Highway merges feel effortless. Passing power comes without hesitation. It's no longer just enough, it feels like there's something in reserve. And that changes how you ride. New, the Versys 650 typically sits between $8,900 and just over $9,000, while used examples range more broadly from about $4,500 up to $7,500, depending on year and condition. That range makes it an appealing step up, while still staying within reach of budget-conscious riders. But its slightly taller, more stretched stance quietly filters out riders who prioritize easy grounding and stress-free stops over added reach. That trade-off doesn't go unnoticed in the real world of aging riders, where confidence at standstill matters just as much as comfort at speed. And for that reason, attention moves toward the next machine, one that takes a more grounded, natural approach to fit and control. Number 10. Suzuki V-Strom 650. This is where the conversation shifts from what a bike can do to what it quietly proves over time. Because the V-Strom 650 doesn't try to win you over in the first ride. It earns it mile by mile. The seat sits just under 33 inches, but unlike taller feeling machines, this one carries itself with a settled posture. The weight doesn't feel stacked high. When you come to a stop, it feels composed beneath you, predictable, steady. You may not flat-foot it completely, but the balance fills in that gap with confidence. At around 470 pounds wet, it lands right in that middle space. Not featherlight, not demanding, just neutral. At low speeds, it tracks cleanly. No sudden lean, no need for constant correction. Whether you're easing through traffic or lining up a parking spot, it behaves the way you expect every single time. And then there's the engine. The 645cc V-twin has been refined over years, and you can feel that maturity. Power comes in smoothly, without spikes or surprises. It doesn't rush you, it doesn't ask for attention. It simply delivers a calm, steady pull that makes long rides feel effortless. On the highway, it settles into a rhythm. Around town, it stays composed. It's not thrilling, but it's deeply reassuring. The new V-Strom 650 typically sits just under $9,000, while used examples range more broadly from about $3,500 up to $6,500, depending on year and condition. That wide availability and its long-standing reputation means you already know what you're getting. This suits the rider who values consistency. One bike for everything, commutes, weekends, longer trips, without drama. And for some riders, even that balance still carries more height and presence than they want to deal with every single day. Because at this stage, comfort isn't just about riding, it's about stopping, parking, maneuvering without second thoughts. And for those riders, the search naturally moves in a different direction, toward the next answer, where confidence starts the moment you sit down. Number 9. Yamaha V-Star 650. Throw a leg over the V-Star 650 and everything immediately feels different. The seat drops to around 27 inches, and that low stance changes the entire experience. Both feet rest flat on the ground, knees relaxed, no stretching, no uncertainty. You're not balancing the motorcycle, you're settled into it. And for many riders coming back after time away, that feeling alone restores confidence faster than anything else. On paper, the weight sits just over 500 pounds, but out on the road, it doesn't carry that weight in a way that feels demanding. It stays low, centered, and stable. At slow speeds, it moves with a calm, predictable rhythm. Parking lots, stoplights, tight spaces. This is where the bike shines. It doesn't lean suddenly or ask for quick corrections. It simply holds its line and gives you time to think. The 649cc V-twin follows that same philosophy. It's smooth, steady, and deliberately relaxed. There's no urgency in the throttle, no sudden jump in power. It builds gently, encouraging a slower pace. Around town, it feels effortless. Short rides feel easy, almost second nature. When it was sold new, the V-Star 650 sat in the mid-$6,000 range. But today, used examples are widely available between roughly $2,500 and $5,000, depending on condition. That makes it one of the most accessible ways to get back on two wheels without overcommitting. And if you've ever chosen reliability and comfort over flashy specs, or you're considering it right now, tell me what matters more to you, long-term trust or short-term excitement. Drop it below, because that decision defines how you experience every mile. The budget machines prove that comfort and control don't have to cost a fortune. They're approachable, reliable, and easy to live with. But as the miles grow longer and the roads get faster, that simplicity can start to feel like a limit rather than a strength. And that's exactly where the next step forward begins. Because now we move into the 4 mid-range motorcycles between $6,000 and $12,000, where added power and refinement meet real-world comfort. And leading this group is a bike that adds real capability without losing control. Number 8. Yamaha Tenere 700. This is where comfort stops, meaning easy, and starts, meaning in control. Up to now, everything has been about low seats, calm manners, and confidence at a standstill. The Tenere 700 flips that idea. Here, the comfort shows up once you're moving, when the road gets uneven, unpredictable, real. The seat rises to about 34 inches, and there's no hiding it. You climb onto this bike. You don't just step over it. The riding position is tall, upright, almost commanding. You see over traffic, you feel above the road. But for riders who prefer a planted, feet-down sense of security, this height can feel like a wall before the ride even begins. Weight comes in around 450 pounds wet, and surprisingly, it doesn't feel heavy once it's rolling. The chassis is lively, responsive, almost eager to change direction. Out on open roads or rough surfaces, it feels light on its feet. But at slow speeds, parking lots, tight turns, it asks for more awareness. This is not a machine that fades into the background. It wants your input. The 689cc parallel twin brings a different kind of energy. It's smooth, but there's an immediate response when you twist the throttle. Not harsh, just alive. It pulls with intent, giving you that direct connection between your hand and the rear wheel. For riders who still want to feel engaged, that responsiveness becomes part of the appeal. New Tenere 700 typically sits just above $10,000, while used examples generally range from about $7,500 up to around $10,500, depending on condition. That places it near the top of this range. This suits the rider who still enjoys an active role in the ride, someone who values control over convenience. But that involvement comes at a cost, because not everyone wants to manage a motorcycle, especially when the ride slows down. And that's exactly where the direction shifts next, toward a motorcycle built to remove effort, not add to it. Number 7. Honda NC750X DCT. This is where riding stops feeling like effort and starts feeling natural again. After taller machines and heavier controls, the NC750X changes the experience in a way you don't fully understand until you're actually on it. The seat sits around 31 inches, and right away, it feels approachable. You're not climbing up, you're settling in. The reach to the ground is easy, balanced, and reassuring. For many riders, that alone removes the hesitation before the ride even begins. At just under 500 pounds wet, it carries its weight low and quietly. Nothing feels top-heavy or busy. At slow speeds, it moves with a calm, predictable rhythm. Traffic, parking lots, stop-and-go situations. It handles all of it without asking much from you. And that's the key word here, effortless. The 745cc parallel twin is tuned for low-end pull, not high-rev excitement. It delivers power in a smooth, steady flow. But what truly sets this bike apart is the DCT, dual-clutch transmission. No clutch, no shifting, just twist and go. In traffic, your left hand rests. On longer rides, your mind stays relaxed. There's no stalling, no gear changes to think about. The bike handles it all seamlessly, reducing both physical strain and mental fatigue. Used prices typically fall between $6,500 and $9,000. Its greatest strength is simplicity without compromise. But when everything becomes this smooth, some riders begin to miss a little character. And for riders who start to miss that feeling, the next bike brings it back without giving up the comfort they've come to value. Number 6. Kawasaki Vulcan S. The Vulcan S doesn't ask you to adjust your body to the bike, it reshapes the bike around you. And for riders over 55, that difference isn't small, it's everything. The first thing you notice is the seat. Sitting at roughly 27.8 inches, it's one of the lowest in this entire lineup. Both feet plant firmly on the ground, knees stay relaxed, and those uneasy moments at stoplights or parking lots disappear. You're not balancing anymore, you're in control. Now on paper, it weighs close to 500 pounds, but the way it carries that weight completely changes the feel. It sits low, stays planted, and moves with a kind of steady confidence that makes even slow speed riding feel natural. No top heavy tipping, no nervous corrections, just smooth, predictable motion. But what really sets this bike apart is how it fits. Kawasaki's Ergo Fit system lets you adjust the seat, bars, and pegs to match your body. And that's where something clicks. For once, the riding position feels right, not forced, not compromised, just comfortable in a way that makes you want to keep going. The 649cc parallel twin adds a touch of personality. It's calm at low speeds, but there's enough punch when you need it, keeping the ride engaging without ever feeling overwhelming. New, it lands around $8,000 with used options between $6,000 and $8,500. A solid middle ground value with a very personal feel. Its biggest strength, tailored comfort that builds trust fast. But there's a limit. Wind protection is minimal. Storage is basic. And over longer distances, that cruiser stance can start to wear on your body. It shines on shorter, relaxed rides, not cross-country hauls. And that's where the question begins. What happens when you want the same confidence, but with the ability to go farther, stay out longer, and feel just as comfortable doing it? That answer is waiting just ahead. Number 5. BMW F750 GS. This is where things start to feel elevated. Not bigger, not heavier, just more refined in a way that catches you off guard. The F750 GS doesn't overwhelm you with size or specs. With a seat height hovering around 32 inches and available lower seat options, it stays approachable for a wide range of riders. The weight sits just under 500 pounds, but like the best balanced machines, it carries itself with composure. You don't feel like you're managing it, you feel like you're working with it. Then you start the engine. That 853cc parallel twin isn't built to impress on paper, it's built to feel right on the road. Power comes in clean, steady, and controlled. There's no harshness, no sudden spikes, just a smooth, consistent pull that keeps your body relaxed and your inputs minimal. Over time, you realize something subtle. You're less tired. And then the details begin to stand out. Ride modes adjust how the bike responds beneath you. Traction control steps in quietly when needed. Optional cruise control, a crisp display, and intuitive controls all work together, not to distract you, but to support you. Nothing feels excessive, everything feels intentional. This is what premium really means here. Not more intensity, but more confidence. On longer rides, the difference becomes obvious. And the bike stays composed at speed. Rough pavement feels less intrusive. The entire experience feels calmer, more controlled, more complete. New, it typically starts above $11,000, while used models fall between $9,000 and $12,000. And yes, ownership comes at a higher cost. Maintenance, parts, servicing, IT, all adds up. That's the reality. But so is this. Once you experience this level of refinement, it resets your expectations. Because now, it's not just about comfort anymore. It's about how effortlessly that comfort is delivered. And once that standard is set, there's only one direction left to go, up. Before we jump to the next step, what's the one thing you refuse to compromise on now when choosing a bike? Comfort, weight, or ease of riding? Drop your answer below because that one decision usually tells the whole story. The mid-range bikes strike a strong balance. Enough power for the highway, enough comfort for longer rides, and still manageable for everyday use. But over time, even small compromises begin to show, especially on full-day journeys. And that's when riders start looking for something that reduces effort even further. And that naturally brings us to the final tier, the 4 premium motorcycles above $12,000. And the first machine at this level is a bike designed to minimize effort while maximizing comfort and control. Number 4, Honda Africa Twin 1100. This is where the conversation shifts from manageable to truly capable. Up to this point, the focus has been balanced. Bikes that feel easy, predictable, and confidence-inspiring. But the Africa Twin 1100 steps into a different space. This isn't just about comfort anymore. It's about how far you are willing to go. The seat height alone makes that clear. Sitting between roughly 33 and over 34 inches, this is a tall machine. No way around it. Yes, there are adjustments, but the riding position still feels commanding. For some riders, that height brings a sense of control and visibility. For others, it introduces a moment of hesitation before the ride even begins. Weight comes in just above 500 pounds. You feel it at a standstill, but once moving, it settles into a planted, stable rhythm. This isn't a bike built for tight parking lot maneuvers. It's built to stretch out and keep going. At the heart of it is a 1,084 cubic centimeters parallel twin, and this is where the bike earns its place. The power delivery is smooth, torquey, and incredibly usable. It doesn't rush. It pulls with authority, especially through the low and mid-range. On highways, it feels relaxed. On rough pavement, it stays composed. And over long hours, vibration stays low, keeping fatigue in check. This is true versatility. Touring, commuting, gravel roads, broken surfaces. It handles all of it without feeling out of place. New, it typically starts around $14,000, with used options ranging between $12,000 and $15,000. You're paying for capability, and you feel that value every time conditions change beneath you. But for some riders, that off-road readiness, that tall, commanding stance, becomes more than they actually need. Because when the miles are mostly asphalt and the goal is covering distance with precision, the focus naturally shifts. And that's exactly where the next machine steps in. Built not for the unknown, but for mastering the road ahead with speed, comfort, and control. Number 3, BMW R1250 GS. There comes a point where you stop asking what a bike can do and start caring about how easily it does it. The BMW R1250 GS lives exactly in that space. For riders over 55, it represents something different. Not excitement for its own sake, but confidence that never needs to prove itself. The riding position is upright, open, and incredibly natural. The seat height ranges from roughly 33.5 to over 34 inches. But the bike's balance makes it feel more manageable than the numbers suggest. Once you're seated, the reach to the bars is relaxed, the knee angle is comfortable, and your body settles into a posture built for distance, not strain. At around 549 pounds wet, it's not a light motorcycle on paper, but the weight sits low, and more importantly, it disappears the moment you start moving. And at slow speeds, it feels controlled. On the road, it feels planted, and over long distances, it feels effortless in a way that few bikes can match. The 1254 cubic centimeter Boxer Twin defines the experience. It doesn't rush, it doesn't spike, it delivers power in a deep, smooth wave of torque, clearly favoring strength and stability over sharp punch. You don't chase the power band, it's already there, right where you need it. Overtakes happen with a gentle roll of the throttle, and the engine never feels stressed doing it. New the R1250 GS typically starts around $18,000, while used models commonly range from $14,000 to well over $20,000, placing it firmly in the premium category. It's best suited for riders who want one motorcycle that can do everything without ever feeling demanding. Its greatest strength is how effortlessly it combines comfort, power, and control. But there's an honest limitation. The height and physical size can still feel intimidating at a standstill, especially for shorter riders. Because while this bike becomes incredibly manageable once moving, it still asks for respect before you get there. And that's exactly where the next machine comes in, where effort begins to fade and the ride starts to feel almost effortless. Number 2, BMW R1250 RT. The BMW R1250 RT isn't chasing quick thrills or weekend bursts. This machine is built for riders who measure their journeys in states crossed and days in the saddle. It's about distance and, more importantly, how your body feels at the end of it. Now let's address the obvious. This is a big motorcycle. Fully fueled, it pushes well past 600 pounds, and at low speeds, you will notice it. Tight parking lots, uneven ground, slow. U-turns, this is where the bike reminds you that it demands respect and deliberate control. But then you get rolling, and everything changes. That weight transforms into planted, unshakable stability. On the highway, the RT doesn't just move forward, it settles in. Crosswinds lose their bite. Rough pavement fades into the background. The bike tracks straight with a calm, almost reassuring authority that takes pressure off your hands and mind. You're no longer managing the ride, you're gliding through it. The seating position plays a huge role here. With an adjustable saddle sitting in the low 30-inch range, it offers a natural, upright stance with excellent support through your lower back and hips. It's the kind of setup that quietly encourages longer days without the usual fatigue creeping in. Then there's that iconic Boxer engine. The 1,254 cubic centimeters twin delivers power in a smooth, torque-rich manner, clearly favoring stability and predictability over sharp punch. No need to chase revs, no need to plan ahead. Roll the throttle, and it responds with calm authority. No drama, no harshness, just steady forward motion that feels almost effortless. New, the R1250. RT typically ranges from $19,000 to over $21,000. While used models commonly fall between $14,000 and $20,000, placing it firmly in the premium category. Are you enjoying this breakdown so far? Hit that like button, and if you want to support what we do and get early access to upcoming videos, consider becoming a member. It helps us keep this level of detail and honesty in every review. And here's the final piece, because even with this level of comfort and control, one last layer of effort remains. And the next machine was designed to remove it entirely, taking everything you've seen so far and refining it into something even more seamless. Number 1, Honda Goldwing DCT. The Honda Goldwing doesn't try to balance trade-offs anymore, it's built to eliminate them. This is where the idea of not too big, not too small finally evolves into something else entirely, nothing working against you at all. At a glance, it almost doesn't make sense. The seat sits low, right around the upper 20-inch range, giving you a planted, confidence-inspiring feel at every stop. But then comes the shock. This machine pushes past 800 pounds. On paper, that sounds excessive, even unnecessary, until you ride it. Because that weight is carried so low, so intelligently that it stops feeling like a burden. At slow speeds, yes, you stay aware of its presence. It asks for respect, but once it's moving, that mass melts into stability. The ride becomes incredibly smooth, almost detached from the road beneath you. And then, the engine takes over. That 1,833 cubic centimeters flat six doesn't roar, it whispers. Power flows in a calm, uninterrupted wave. No vibration creeping into your hands. No sudden hit. Just steady, effortless motion that makes acceleration feel almost weightless. But the real transformation comes from the DCT system. No clutch, no shifting, no constant input. The bike handles it all, cleanly, seamlessly, without drawing attention to itself. In traffic, it removes stress. On long rides, it removes fatigue. And over time, it removes something deeper. The effort you didn't even realize you were carrying. New, the Goldwing DCT typically ranges from around $25,000 to over $28,000, while used models commonly fall between $15,000 and $24,000, placing it firmly at the top of the premium category. It's best suited for riders who prioritize maximum comfort, long-distance touring, and the most effortless riding experience possible. Some rides don't really end. They just point you toward the next one, waiting somewhere down the road with a different feel, a different weight, a different kind of comfort. There's a reason the next video is already waiting for you, and it changes how you look at every ride. Tap it now and keep the journey going. And if this helped you today, give it a like. It tells us you're still in the ride with us.